Yeah. So this one we're gonna go ahead and turn it up just a little bit. Um, and so you can check us out on the YouTube, and you can also check us out on the on the Facebook. If you hear my son in the background, he's just going a little crazy. But the better audio version is going to be on the YouTube. I still haven't figured out how to actually use the mic on this podcast mic on the Facebook Live, but I do have it on the YouTube. So if you want to check it out on the YouTube, then yeah, it'll sound a little bit clearer. And then we're also going to be recording this so that way you can go back and check it out later on. So today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be dealing with a few topics, but one thing in particular is going to be bonds. But at any time, if you have any questions or if you have some ideas or some things that you want to talk about, we can definitely do that as well. Hey, Forrest, if you don't mind, I can actually bring you up on the camera if you want to, so that way you can ask whatever type of topics that you got. Because we got three main rules when it comes to this class, which is, take whatever I'm saying as truth, and then also apply immediately on what we're teaching. And then the third thing is just make sure that you bring somebody to class on the next class. So let me see. Cool. How's everything sound? Does everything sound good on your end, Forrest? Can you hear?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Cool. Yeah, man. So hey, what's going on, Joe? How's everything? Um
What's up, man?
hey. Yeah, so let's see how we're looking. All right. Forrest, did you have anything that
Can
you?
you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Yeah, we live. Clear.
All right, cool. Um, was there any topics that you wanted to talk about or anything that you wanted to learn about?
Yeah, no, I'm ready for the bonds. I want to know the difference in stocks and bonds mainly. It's the first question I got.
Perfect. Okay. So stocks, as you know, so a stock is the ownership of a company. So then you gain that ownership by purchasing shares. So that's the first thing. So like when you're talking about
Hey, hold
stocks,
on, coach.
oh yeah.
I got this thing. It's repeating everything we already said. I don't know what in the world is going on.
Oh, it's probably because you got the live going along with it. So I mean, I could take you off and then you can just hear either way.
Yeah, take me off and I'll just comment it because I can't even hardly hear what
All right. Let's see.
you're saying because it's.
Uh,
Let me get
okay. All right. Is that work better for you? You could just comment in the thing so that way I know. All right. So what I was saying before is so a stock is ownership of a company. All right. So that's the first thing. And how you gain that ownership is by purchasing shares. Okay. So when you buy shares of a company, you're actually you're gaining the ownership of it. Said I think I'm good now, but it didn't work out with me on the live. Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, you perfect. So you're gaining the ownership by purchasing those shares. And when you get those shares, you actually gain rights like voter rights. Okay, so you actually get that. Most people, they don't realize that you actually can vote on certain things. And then the more shares that you have, the more control and more power that you have over a public company. Now, granted, obviously public companies, you got to have a lot of shares to make any public company do something that you want them to do, but you do have certain rights like that. Another thing that you have rights on when it comes to a stock is you have rights to their revenue. And how you typically get some of the revenue is by dividends. And we talked about that yesterday. A dividend is money paid out to shareholders. All right. So if you own a share of Walmart, you actually you can gain that revenue from them in the form of a dividend. But so that's a stock. All right. And a stock, you sort of, when the stock price goes up in value, or say people feel that the company is doing better, then the stock price can rise. The stock price doesn't necessarily rise based off of how much money they're actually making. Sometimes it could be that the stock price could rise just because of how people feel about the company. All right, so that's a stock, right? Some of the same principles apply to a bond. So a bond, to me, I feel like bonds are one of the best types of assets. And remember, an asset is something that puts money in your pocket, whereas a liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. So a bond is a loan to a company or a government. All right. So a bond is a loan to a company or a government. And so there's a lot of different types of bonds, and we're going to get into some of them today. But essentially what it is just, it's a loan. It's an IOU. It's just like if you were going to like your friend, say your friend wants to, I don't know, say they want to go to the movies or something like that, or they wanted to buy something at the store, and they say, hey, can you give me $100, right? So $100, you get $100, but you say, hey, when are you gonna pay me back? And they say they're gonna pay you back when paycheck, when they get their paycheck. So it's in next week. So next week comes around, you go over to them, and then you get your $100. But most people, that's where it ends. It just ends with just that $100. But with a bond, typically it's associated with an interest payment. So you actually gain interest from holding those bonds. All right. So it's an IOU, but you get interest. And so let's talk about what interest is in general. So interest is money paid on money. So let me write that down. So, because we're talking about a lot of different terms. So we got a bond. Yeah. Bond is a loan to a company or a government. And then you got interest. And so interest is money paid for money, or money paid on money, either way. So money paid for money, or money paid on money. Yeah, so it says, so on a bond, how long do they pay you, and how do they pay you after they've made your money back? Okay, yeah. So it just depends on the type of bond it is. So let's just say you're talking about, we'll go ahead and get into some of these different types of bonds. So there's a treasury bond. And what that is a long-term loan to the U.S. government, or any government per se. But let's just say a U.S. treasury bond would be a long-term loan to the government. And when we're talking about like long-term, we're talking about, 5, 10, 15, 20-year loans to the government. So that's a treasury bond. Then you got a treasury note. It's still considered a bond. It's like an IOU, but it's an intermediate type of bond. Or intermediate type of loan, right? All you got to remember when you're talking about bonds, we're talking about loans. We're talking about IOUs. So I'm loaning money to the government. So a treasury note is is an intermediate bond where we're talking about 1 to 10 years. So we're loaning money to the government at 1 to 10 years. Then you got treasury bills. Treasury bills are short term. We're talking, they really don't have a duration period. They could be a few months till a year. So a treasury bill is short term. All right. These are all things to the government. When we're talking about treasury, when you hear the word treasury, we're talking about a loan to the government. So treasury bond, treasury note, treasury bills, these are loans to the government. Then you got talking about to the federal government. Then you got municipal bonds. Okay, municipal bonds, you can actually loan money to, say, Baker County. And when you loan money to Baker County to, say, they're trying to build a school, they're trying to build a new bridge or something, or they're trying to do some new roads or whatever, you can actually loan money, no kidding, you can loan money to Baker County for whatever project that they're trying to do. And they'll usually issue out bonds and they'll try to sell them as quickly as possible so that way they can secure their debt, you know, of what they're trying to accomplish for the local government. So municipal bonds are local government loans. And you can actually loan money to these people. And you don't have to just loan it just to Baker County. You can loan it out to Duval. You can go over to Duval, say Duval's trying to do some construction or whatever. You can loan money over to them. You can go over, say, Nassau. Any county that had, or like state, their state bonds as well. But yeah, what you're trying to do, you're loaning money to these people. And then in turn, what you get is you get interest payments. Remember, interest is money paid on money. So you gave money to them in the form of an IOU, and they'll give you your money back over a period of time, and you'll get interest back for giving them the money. So that's sort of the concept when it comes to bonds. Very powerful, right? Very powerful. Then you got corporate bonds. So a corporate bond, this is me personally. This is where I like the bond. Okay. Oh, so Joe said municipal bonds built the county jail. Exactly. So yeah, municipal bonds. That's exactly what they do. So the local government, they'll issue out these bonds and they'll say, hey, we want to build the county jail, or we want to build this new road, or we want to build this new school. And so they'll issue this debt out, or they'll issue out these securities out to people and say, hey, do you want to buy them or not? And then the community will say yes or no, buy their dollars, right? So yeah, so then you got, okay, so after that, so after municipal bonds, you got corporate bonds. To me, this is where it gets really interesting, is corporate bonds. Because corporate bonds typically can be bought and sold, and you can trade corporate bonds and you can make some money. So corporate bonds or corporate debt, you can actually buy and sell this type of debt in the marketplace, and they can appreciate or go up in value. Sometimes, I mean, obviously they can go down in value too, but you can actually buy and sell corporate bonds. So for instance, Walmart has debt. You can actually loan money to Walmart. Yeah, powerful. You can loan money over to the dollar store. You can loan money to, let's just say, to ExxonMobil. These people have debt too. So if you have a few dollars, you can actually loan money over to these people, and when they make money, they're going to pay you back. Yeah. To me, this is where I love bonds, because not only can you loan these people money that you know are going to pay you back, because it's Walmart. Everybody's going in and out of that store. So you can buy stock in Walmart by purchasing shares, and you can get a dividend off of them. And you can also loan them money and get interest payments off of them. And the interest payments on bonds are called coupon payments. What questions do y'all got so far? So, I mean, I feel like this is some good stuff, and this is the type of information that we all needed to know. All right. So what questions do y'all got so far when it comes to bonds? And we're gonna really get into this thing. What questions y'all got? Said, so I'm guessing what is better about a bond versus stock is when you get a bond, you pretty much know for sure how much you will make off it. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Exactly. So Forrest is dead on point on that. So when you take your $1,000, they're going to tell you on the bond, they're going to say, we're going to give you 5% on that $1,000. So you already know that you're going to make $50 extra on top of your 1,000 when your money comes back. So over a year time, you're going to give them $1,000. And then what's going to happen is at the end of the year, they're going to give you $50 plus your $1,000 back. Okay. Here's the fire play about municipal bonds. So municipal bonds, they are state, you don't pay state taxes on municipal bonds. Okay. Now in Florida, we don't have state income tax, but you can just think about it. If you, let's just say, yeah, I feel you, Forrest, like you do need to get some bonds. If you think about this, let's just say that you got friends and family out in Texas, or you got friends and family in Louisiana or whatever, say Louisiana. You can actually buy municipal bonds in those places, in those locations, and you pay no taxes. So if you're watching this video, I'm talking about state taxes. If you're watching this video, just depending on whatever state you're living in, you could actually have no taxes when it comes to the money that you're making off of municipal bonds. All right. So Joel says, generally, treasury bonds are safe and they go up in value when the economy is suffering. But when should you invest in corporate bonds? Okay. So typically when it comes to corporate debt, like right now, interest rates are very high. Okay. Like interest rates are extremely high. So that means that the interest payments that you're going to be getting are also going to be very high. So right now, this is a great time for you to be holding corporate debt, if that makes sense. So you could be getting corporate debt right now at very high interest rates because the interest rates are so high. Now, 4 years ago or 3 years ago, when interest rates were pretty much at rock bottom at zero, it was the price might have been high, but the interest payments might have been very low. Okay, so you want to make sure that you look at sort of, just look at the interest pay, like look at what your interest is, your variable rate interest, say at your mortgage, and you see like right now interest rate, everybody knows interest rates are really high right now. So because interest rates are so high, right? This is the time for you to be getting some of those corporate bonds if you wanted to get them. But just remember, I think, not like I said, this is not financial advice, but the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, he is lowering interest rates, not by a whole lot, but the interest rates are starting to come down. I think by 25 basis points. What 25 basis points is like 0.25%. So whenever you hear basis points, and when they say 2,500 basis points or 500 basis points, what they're talking about is 0.25 or 0.50 of an interest of a percent. So that's just some game right there. But yeah, interest rates are starting to come down, but not by a lot. It's going to come down incrementally. So yeah, right now, I personally feel that if you are going to be getting into bonds, this might be, decent time for right now. So yeah, no problem. All right. So so corporate bonds. So corporate bonds, you can loan money to every single one of your every single business that you know that's a traded business. You can actually loan money to them. and that's an IOU. So now you can go and you can start flexing, and you can say, yeah, man, Walmart owes me money, which they might. You can say, hey, the dollar store owes me money, because they might. Because if you own some of their debt, then they owe you some money. At the same time, you can also buy shares of those companies. And so now you can say that you own part of Walmart, or own part of the dollar store, or own ExxonMobil. So here's the play. This is why I want you. So now we need to type in, start thinking. When you go to ExxonMobil the next time and you own shares of ExxonMobil, and you also own some of the corporate debt of ExxonMobil, when you pump that gas, you're actually making money back off of the dividends of ExxonMobil, and you're making money off of the interest payments from ExxonMobil. And if you really get nice with it, we're going to talk about, we talked about credit 2 days ago, but if you really get nice with it, if you took your rewards card, your rewards credit card, and you swipe when you go to ExxonMobil to get some gas, not only are you going to be getting not only are you getting the dividend from ExxonMobil, not only are you getting the interest from the corporate debt of ExxonMobil and the share price appreciation of ExxonMobil, but you also get rewards off of swiping that card, and those rewards, the rewards dollars, which is free money, you take that money and buy more shares of ExxonMobil. That's a mic drop. That's a mic drop. Like, somebody put a mic drop. Somebody give you something in the chat. That's a mic drop right there. That's a way that you can win all across the board. That's a lot of money right there. So you think about it. You get the dividend off of ExxonMobil. You got the interest payment off of the corporate debt from ExxonMobil. And also you can get the swipe of the rewards points off of filling up your gas. So yeah, just something to consider as far as how you live your life. That's how I live mine. All right. So then on corporate debt, we're gonna be finishing up, because there's a lot of good stuff when it comes to bonds, but convertible bonds. Okay, convertible bonds. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, y'all need to go ahead and tell people to get in this chat. But this is what I want you to know. So convertible bonds, this is probably, to me, is one of my favorites. You can actually get corporate debt, so you can you can loan money to a company, and that bond, you can later convert it into a share of a company. Yeah, you can do that. So you can loan a company, say Walmart, $1,000. And then, as long as it's called a convertible bond, then you can later convert it into shares of the company. So when Joel was talking about, he said, well, what's a good time for you to get into corporate bonds? Well, you'll know when it's a good time when the share price when the share price goes down. That's when you want to convert your bonds into shares. So that way you can buy when it's low. You always buy low, sell high, right? So when the share price of ExxonMobil goes down, you would convert your bond into shares. So that way you buy low, and then you just ride the wave back when the stock price goes back up in value, and you're also getting dividends along the way. That's something just to consider. You can get, if you're trying to time the market per se, you can get convertible bonds and then convert them into shares of stock. Okay, so you see how this is we're trying to build, it's building blocks on this stuff. The first thing that we need to know is so let's do a summary. What is a stock? Stock is ownership of a company. All right, you buy ownership, or you gain ownership by purchasing shares. once you get shares, some stocks pay you dividends. And dividends are is revenue or money paid out to shareholders. So if you're a shareholder, you get dividends. You can get dividends. So this is over here. So stocks, bonds. Oh yeah, man, definitely appreciate that. So bonds are loans to companies or governments. All right, companies or governments. And what you do with this with bonds is what it is. It's just a loan. So you're loaning money to the federal government in the form of a treasury bond or treasury bill or something like that. Or you can also do a municipal bond, which is to your local government. Or you can do corporate bonds, which is a loan to a company. Or you can do a convertible bond, which is you're taking a loan from a company and you're converting it into stock. Yeah. And so with the bond, this is how this thing goes. When you loan money to a person or to an entity like a government or to a company, what you're doing is you're going to be getting interest payments. And what an interest payment is money paid on money, or money paid for money. So this is how a bond will be structured. It's always like this. The entity says, I need $1,000. You say, okay, cool. I'll give you $1,000, but for how long, and then for what interest rate? And they say for a year, for your $1,000, and for 5%. It's just a rough estimate. And then so this is what will happen. In 1 year, you will get 5%, which is $50 on $1,000. So $50, and then you'll get your money back in a year. That's all it is. That's all a bond is. All right. That's it. But I think they're fire. Like bonds are really nice. Plus, on top of that, you can trade corporate bonds in the marketplace. So go tell a friend that this is some really good information. If you missed it, man, you missed a really good class. Go back and watch this video when it comes to bonds. I think if anybody has any questions, like what questions do y'all have right now? And then because we're gonna end it out, and I'm going to give you some application that you can do right now, that you can actually start right now. So what questions do y'all got? And I really appreciate y'all taking the time out of your day to invest in yourself, to learn some stuff. And like I always tell everybody, we're trying to apply this tonight. I don't want you to leave this chat and not apply something tonight. So I want you to take this information and apply it today. Yesterday, we talked about Acorns, that you can start with Acorns and you can invest right now. You can get the Acorns app tonight and you can start to invest tonight. So that's something that you could do right now. Another thing I gave you was Robinhood. You can actually buy shares of stock from Robinhood. That's another app that you can do tonight. What other questions do y'all got? And then for bonds or loaning money in general, you can buy a thing called an ETF. Okay, an ETF is an exchange traded fund. You can buy a bond ETF, probably for let me get you right. Bond, let's see. Vanguard bond ETF. Let's see what we got. BND. Okay, so BND. If you type in BND, this is, like I said, this is not financial advice, but if you type in BND on Robinhood, you will see it is a bond ETF from Vanguard. What you can do, I like Fidelity also. Fidelity Vanguard. There's a lot of different brokerage firms that you can get involved in. Any company that pays no fees, that's great. So, and we'll get into brokerages at a later date. I don't want to make this too long of a video. I want to stay with bonds. But tonight, what you can do, you can go onto BND, which is an ETF, exchange trade fund. All an ETF is basically a fund that can be traded. That's it. It's like an index that can be traded on the stock market. Don't make it too crazy. It's just a stock. It's basically a stock. You can get a bond ETF tonight from BND, and you can actually have exposure into the bond market tonight. You'll have to put your order in tomorrow, but the market will open up tomorrow. But that's something that you can do. Like I said, this is not financial advice. You don't have to do that. But I'm saying if you wanted to learn and you wanted to get into play, like you wanted to get in the game, that's something that you can do. Said, I'm going to have to rewatch this thing. I've been missing a bunch with my phone lagging. Yeah, man. Feel free. You can also text me and message me or whatever like that. I just want y'all to have the information. And I tell you, I'm very thankful for y'all even taking the time to just invest in yourself. And this is completely free. A lot of times people want to charge for information like this. There's money that you can make today. And really the thing I want to stress this is that you not participating in the market is only holding you back. So the thing that I would recommend is don't sit there and just think about stuff. At the end of the day, now that the dollar store is not going nowhere. That Walmart is not going nowhere. Walmart is not going nowhere tomorrow. So you can buy if you don't do nothing else, you can buy one share of Walmart, and on Robinhood, you can actually just put $1 into Walmart. $1 into Walmart. You can do that tonight. I know every single person that's watching this video can find $1 to put into Walmart tonight. And I'm not saying that you got to do it with Walmart. I'm saying you can do that with ExxonMobil. You can do it with Comcast. You can do it with T-Mobile. Any company that you can think of that's a publicly traded company, Facebook. You can right now Facebook. Y'all are on Facebook. Y'all on Facebook every day. Y'all can actually buy part ownership in Facebook. The stock ticker is FB. You can buy $1 of Facebook if you go to Robinhood tonight, and you can actually put $1 into Facebook, and you'll be a part owner in Facebook tomorrow. That would be a whole lot better putting $1 into Facebook than taking that same dollar and doing whatever with it. Or you can go instead of you buying $5 worth of coffee at Starbucks, you could put $5 into the stock. Hey, it's just be on the right. Don't waste time. Don't waste time thinking about it. Just act on it. All right. So that's all I got for you. I hope that this was helpful. Hopefully this was beneficial for you. I try to keep it real short and sweet. Only 30 minutes, but I think it was very powerful, very helpful. If you think that this was helpful and you think that this was, definitely beneficial, I recommend that you just share this out to your friends and your family. Tell them that we're trying to get wealthy this year in 2024. We're not trying to be the same people that we used to be. There's no reason why Baker County and the people here of Baker County, from Sanderson, Taylor, Margaretta, Old Lusty, Glen St. Mary, McClenny, the whole nine, Macedonia, everybody can't be wealthy. There's no reason why we can't be wealthy in 2024. All right. And I hope that I can just be helpful for that, and to make sure that you have a very prosperous and a blessed year. All right. For you and your family. So with that being said, as always, peace, one love. Share this video, send it out to your friends, your family. Let's get as wealthy as we can this year, and let's try to make this class even bigger and better tomorrow. All right. Y'all be blessed. Peace.